So my name is AJ Evanish. I'm a project engineer here at KMSI, and today I'm going to be one of your event moderators. Today's topic, as you can see on the screen, is how to generate e-learning simulations and exams with artificial intelligence, and more specifically, how to do that with KMX version 16.
Okay, it looks like the ERP one was the winner there for the lesson exam.
With that,
okay, are you ready for me to take over?
I'm ready for you to take over, sir. So again, everyone, if you have any questions that you don't want to put in public chat, please feel free to select my name and initiate a private chat, especially during the presentation. If you have any questions, just feel free to do that while Jack is kind of working his way through. With that, Jack, you're ready to go.
That was great. Yeah, there's a lot of good ideas. I like the idea of ERP, enterprise, resource planning systems. Sounds like a really good one. ITSM is good as well, but trying to do them both at the same time, I think, probably will be better off just picking one. And I think ERP is kind of the way to go with that. Okay, so let's talk about what we're going to do today here. That was fun. In order to do anything effective in training, we've got to, follow a process. And the recognized process is, the instructional systems design process. We're going to be using the ADDIE model today: analyze, design, develop, implement, evaluate model. And in order to get started with that, the first thing we're going to need to have is a task inventory. We're going to have some kind of knowledge and skill task inventory to work with so that we can, conduct a task analysis. So we're going to ask AI to do that. I'm going to start sharing my screen. And pretty soon you should be able to see my screen come up. Hopefully everybody can see that already. Hey, Jay, how about let me know whether that's coming through nice and clear?
Yes, that looks good.
Okay. And so the goal here is to get a task inventory table for enterprise resource planning. We're going to start with that. And that's under our knowledge and skill inventories item, menu item. I'm not really trying to teach the system today, but at least you know what I'm clicking on. And we've got these auto-gen features. We can either go ISO 9000 or we can let AI take over and run with it. We're going to let AI take over and run with it today. And we're going to do enterprise resource planning, ERP, and give it at least, the title of what it is we're enterprise resource planning. Give it, the idea of where we're going with this, and then hit next, and it's going to start thinking about that. Today on this node, we're actually using Chat GPT-4 Turbo's API for generating the AI, the knowledge and skill inventory table. We'll be using both Google AI and OpenAI tools today to get this. Now, that was quick. And here are the items that ChatGPT-4 Turbo believed would be relative to teaching or creating a course on enterprise resource planning ERP systems. I don't have any reason to question it, but if you don't like the way something came out, you can always grab it, edit it, change it. It's assigned this as a knowledge area in a basic knowledge category. And if we don't like something at all, we can just click the delete button next to it and delete it. I have no reason to question AI at this point because we haven't gotten to the task analysis phase of this. So I'm just going to go ahead and accept those, responses because they actually, from my perspective of 30 plus years in the industry, those look actually pretty good. Now, in order to create a course or do a task analysis, we've got to have an anchor for that, for that element. So we're going to put in a course record. We need to give it a title. So we're going to call it Introduction. That's good. To Enterprise Resource Planning. And we'll just give it a description. This is an AI generated course, just so we know that AI is responsible for it if we don't like the results. The rest of these settings I'm just going to leave for now. We can come back and play with them later. But we got to have an anchor to do our task analysis against. So we're going to go ahead and create that anchor point. And now the next thing that we can do is we can either create learning objectives manually based on the task analysis. We can review what's available, or we can just have AI go do that step by itself. So we're going to have AI do the next step without putting a lot of effort into this today. And now you got to make a decision. What are we trying to accomplish? Is this job specific training? Is that the direction we're going? Is it onboarding or orientation associated with new employees that might have something, or responsibilities with this system? Regulatory compliance? Yeah, probably not. I'm going to go ahead and just stick with general education because that looks to me like the most appropriate for this audience and the type of course, a generic course on ERP, that's where we go. But, if we had a specific ERP system in mind, and we wanted to teach them the fundamentals of ERP and then teach them a specific, system, then job specific might be better. But for now, we'll just go with general education. And now we've got to pick how much and where are we trying to go with this, okay? We got to have a training level. We can go to the familiarization level, get all the way out to, the basic knowledge of ERP systems, intermediate knowledge, advanced knowledge. And these are cascading, easy before hard, knowledge before skill, a standard terminal enabling objective structure. That I'm sure all of the ISD people in the room are, more than fully familiar with. Because of time constraints, we're just going to do a familiarization course today, because an advanced skill course could get pretty long on that subject, especially. You saw how many task statements were possible. So we're going to just do a familiarization course. And okay, well, that was quick. It came back with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 learning objectives. Let's just go ahead and pull one of those up. Okay, so again, our table, our assignment type, our training level. And the first thing it thinks, we should have an objective for is understanding the basic concepts of ERP. And we're going to the familiarization level. And we haven't established any performance goals associated with this, and it's not a job specific task, so maybe there are no KPIs or knowledge performance indicators for it. But if we want to get to a level 4 Kirkpatrick analysis, at some point we may want to plug that that data in as to what we're trying to achieve with this course, and then we'll be able to determine whether we actually achieved it. I'm not going to review all those. I'm going to just trust that AI has a clue, identify key modules, benefits, role of ERP, define basic terminology. That all sounds good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and just accept the learning objectives. We'll see those again here in a second because that's how it develops courseware, and hit done. Okay, so I've been rattling here for a little while. Let me go back to the slides for just a second so you can kind of see where we're at in the process. I'm going to stop my screen share. Okay, so we've done a knowledge and skill task inventory, generation. That was that first list that you saw. And then after that, we created a course to anchor our learning objectives to, called Introduction to Enterprise Resource Planning. And then we had AI go ahead and generate from that based on our selections of what kind of training we're doing and what level of training we're trying to get to, select task statements to generate objectives for our course, and it came up with 10 learning objectives. We're going to see all these here in a minute. And the next thing that we've got to do is we got to get to a course outline so that we have something to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and reshare my screen. Okay. So now we're going to go to develop a course outline. AJ told you we're going to march through all these green icons. That's exactly what we're doing. And we're going to auto-gen a course outline. You can see right under that is auto-gen course content. Well, it's better to generate a course outline, get your learning objectives in order and structured before you start generating content. So we're going to go ahead and do that step first. And the course that we're working with is Introduction to ERP Systems. And whoa, that was quick. So now we've got a bunch of not assigned learning objectives. I could go ahead and preview this course right now and review those objectives, but why don't we just go ahead and get rocking on one of these, since everybody's probably got time constraints today. Stop sharing my screen here for just a second and show you where we're at in the process. Okay, so we've got our course outline generated, and what this course outline does is it gives you the ability to add content manually to meet one of these objectives, or add content as, as subordinate, as an element within one of the objective sections. It also, gives you the ability to construct an adaptive learning profile. We don't have time to get into all that, today, but, you could, set, rules on the different nodes. So like node 1 could be the first, objective. If they do well on that, skip them to node 3. If they don't do so well, move them to node 2. If they get to node 4 and they're still having problems, and they skip forward to node 4, move them back to node 2, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so you can set your adaptive learning preferences right here, and then AI can take advantage of that, when it does scoring and analysis, and make the decision as to whether or not the node prerequisites have been satisfied, and whether or not the adaptive learning, either escape or regression clause, needs to be taken advantage of. So that's where we are at in the process. The next step is to generate the content, media, interactive elements. It'll create an image library, for our course. And we're just going to do the first lesson at this point. It's also going to create the menu, navigation, quizzes, and it'll start the generation of an exam if we put an exam into our course outline. I'm going to do that when we get back. So all that's going to be done by AI, and you'll get to see it go through each step of the process. So with that, let me go back and share my screen, just so I'm going to stop every now and then just to make sure everybody's on the same page as to where we're at. Go ahead and share that. Get back to my screen and generate content for that first objective. We're going to generate AI images, and we're going to put test items in the ERP final exam. I don't know if you can see this at the bottom. It says it's processing image 1 of 6, and it's going to take about 4 minutes to do them all. It's going to stop every time it comes up with an image and asks us to confirm or reject the image. Time constraints being what they are, unless the image is really silly, we'll go ahead and accept them. Okay, so the first thing it wants to talk about is how ERP systems are a software system that integrate business functions, You can see the little paragraph up there. And this is the image that it came up with for that. And it's got the little ERP at the center of the hub, linking all these other systems together. And, I'm sure it could do better. We could regenerate that, but it's not horrible. So we're going to go ahead and continue. That's doing image number 2. It's already generated the lesson content. The lesson content is generated by ChatGPT-4 Turbo. The images are being generated by DALL-E 3 right now, and the audio is going to be all, for now, Google. We're going to be using Google AI for audio. And the audio is also being generated for the stream to come through. I know it's kind of like watching hair grow, but here you go. It's our second image. It's only 6. We'll live through this. I don't really like that image because it's got some weird things on it. I'm going to ask it to regenerate that one. I just hit regenerate. Images take between 15 and 30 seconds. If the AI system we're tied into can't respond within 30 seconds, then it aborts, and it'll return us back to our original image. And if AI can't come up with an idea for the image, it'll abort, as well. Or if we violate any of the privacy rules or things like that. Now there you go. Now that's a lot better image. I like that one. We'll go ahead and continue with that. and get to the other three of these. So you've got an interface, KMX Enterprise talking now to multiple AI application interfaces, simultaneously. One that's getting, topical information, one that's getting the image data, DALL-E 3, one that's pulling the audio anchors, and then one that's pulling through. Oh, that's kind of pretty. We'll go ahead and put that one. And then another one that's going to be pulling through our test items. And the test items are all generated using JSON, for those of you that are familiar with programming languages. What we're doing with the test items is we're generating them using JSON, and they're going directly into a test item database so that they're fully indexable. And then we can do good statistical analysis off of those test items down the road. But everything that is generated is fully editable. Okay, so that's not a bad looking graphic. We'll go with that for 4. We've only got 2 more to go. We'll live through this. I had one the other day. The first topic, came back with 13 images, and it took about 7 minutes to get through. We only got about 2 minutes left of this. As soon as it gets all this done, it'll start processing it and turning it into an e-learning lesson. That's kind of the whole point. First, we have to have all the elements to create the e-learning lesson, like the images and the audio and the, okay, that's livable. The test items, the quizzes, it's generating at least one interactivity per lesson. It's going to generate at least one quiz question per lesson before you get to the exam, and then it's going to try and generate a multiple interaction, kind of one of those click here to learn more things, and those can go to external links. They can just be self-referencing, and click here to learn more, and you click it and it tells you more. There's a lot of different options with the click here to learn more. Okay, so that one's kind of busy, but since we've already spent enough time on these images, I'm going to go ahead and accept that one. And again, you can sit here and regenerate images, all you want. These things are now going into an image library, so that, you have a way to maintain it, and you can, reutilize those images down the road. The system's automatically parking those in an image library. The whole KMX system is based on the reusable learning object model. So test items are reusable, content is reusable, images are reusable, tests are reusable, everything's reusable. So these lessons that we're generating could actually be part of a micro-learning construct. If you wanted to use them for that, they could be part of a course outline, or they could be pushed during a virtual event, just like we're doing today. Anything that KMX generates, or you can even use third-party stuff in KMX Live, you can push out, and the students actually interact with it, just like it was an e-learning course sitting on their desktop, but it's under instructor control in the virtual classroom. So our process is complete. Okay, we've got a lesson, and it's called The Basic Concepts of Enterprise Resource Planning. That's where we're at. And so let's take a quick gander at that.
Enterprise Resource Planning, ERP, is a software system that integrates various business functions and processes within an organization. It allows for the centralized management of data and provides real-time visibility into different departments such as finance, human resources.
I'm going to stop her voice. We've got a stop button over here for the voice. We've also got a lot of other buttons up here. We've got an auto advance, which lets it play through, like a video. If I click that, it'll start playing like a video. We've got the ability to have an avatar, and we also have the ability to talk to AI during, the course, of events. So I can say hi up there and see what she says back.
Jack Lee, hi. How can I help you today with Enterprise Resource Planning, ERP?
We don't have her listening to the voice of you or me right now. You'll have other ones here in a second where we made it voice enabled. But for right now, that'd be a little convoluted in a virtual classroom to have her responding to me talking to you. That wouldn't be too good. So you get the idea. There's a lot of options available with this. You can turn the avatar off. You can change the avatar to a male avatar and the voice to a male voice. You can, put a little drop down over here and, figure out all voices that are available that support the workstation that you're on, or the Android device, or the, whatever, Apple, Titanium that you're using. Those are all options that we'll get to in a second, but lots of options. Then obviously you have the little speaker mic, icon here that turns the audio on and off. Okay, so I'm going to leave the audio off for a second and then just kind of forward through and look at these. The audio was on, this stuff would be being narrated and, discussed. Some pretty busy, dense graphics here. I could have spent a little more time regenerating those, but they're livable. If you don't like them, just change them. It's real easy to change them. Okay, so here's our first interactivity. What are the 3 basic concepts? Well, I wish I would have paid attention before. Integration, centralization, automation. Okay, well, that's good to know. And again, if you don't like the button layout, you don't like the score and the screen stuff being at the bottom, this is all part of a style sheet. You just change the style sheet, or you can have one style sheet for all your courses, and just, set a master style sheet in, or you can have a style sheet unique to a course, or you can just go in and change the colors, or the words. You can, it doesn't have to say home, or the home button can disappear if you turn it off. There's just about anything you want to do to edit the layout of this. But we wanted to have a nice flat corporate layout for people to start with so that they could get the idea. Okay, what are the basic concepts? Okay, so again, if I were to turn the audio on and click on one of these.
Automation refers to the ability of ERP systems to automate routine tasks and processes, reducing manual effort and increasing efficiency.
Okay, so you get the idea. She's talking, we can have that on or off. And again, you set this up however you want it. If you want one course to have avatars and another one not, you want to have one course that has the interactive dialogue chat and another one not, or maybe you want all of them to have it on or all of them to have it off. That's completely configurable within the system, because all of our customers have different ideas on what they want to put in front of their users. And then we've got our final quiz question. Okay, so all the above is always a good one, right? There you go. Okay, I got that one correct. She just told me I was correct, and I got a 100% on that. Yay. Okay, so what does this look like edited? Well, before we get to that, let me go back to the slides for just a second. We've got a course. I've shown you some of the options that are available. Everything is editable. Okay, we haven't looked at the exam yet. We'll do that in a second. And then all of the options, we can set the avatar on, set the avatar off, make it default on, default off, blah, 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 blah. We can change the browser voice selection. We can select a new avatar gender and voice gender. We can override the avatar and put our own avatar in there if you don't like, any of the avatars that are available and you have your own avatar you want to use. Those are all, all options, okay? The other thing, and we're going to go show this here in a second, is it's tracking everything now so that you can do level 1 through 4 Kirkpatrick model analysis reporting. You can do full Stanford scale reporting on all of your test items. And if you have a KPI system, a key performance indicator system within your organization, or you track key performance indicators associated with different jobs or different functions or departments, you can set your terminal objectives up to see how the impact of this course affected those KPIs and generate reports. Okay, before we did the course, here's where we were, here's our performance goal, here's the delta. After we fielded the course, within 6 months we were here, within a year we were there, and the course had Y impact. A lot of people have a problem justifying type of management, the development of courses they know the organization needs. But sometimes upper management isn't aware of what the value proposition is associated with that. And by being able to get all the way to a level 4 Kirkpatrick analysis tied to the organization's KPIs, you can show them dollars and cents. If you invest this much into this course, we're going to get this much return out of it. And it may be, you know, better customer satisfaction. It may be, you know, more sales. It may be, you know, less return of product. It may be happier customers, whatever. You know, your KPIs are. Everybody, you know, in a large organization, especially that runs an ERP system, is going to have KPIs, key performance indicators. You can't measure KPIs, you know, the impact of training against KPIs unless you know, have these indexes built within the system. And, you know, it's like 99% of the training programs out there fall short and, you know, only go to level 1 Kirkpatrick analysis, which is basically smile sheets. Did the students like the course, you know, and did they do well? I mean, okay, well, the students could have done great on the course and they could have had 0 impact on the organization, or they could have done terrible on the course, you know, and still would have 0 impact. So you don't really know at that point. You know, level 4 gets you all the way to the point of knowing for certain and having a dollar proposition to show upper management, you know, of the progress that you've achieved. So let's go back now and look at some of the editing features. I'm not going to go through them all today, but I just want to give you an idea what they might be like. Okay, so we're back here on this screen. I'm going to hit edit content. Here's the description, the title that's been written for that thing. I can reprocess that whole thing real quick. It won't rewrite or overwrite the images, you know, within it if I reprocess it. And the reason you might want to, you know, reprocess something is, you know, maybe there was a typo early on and you just want to get it, you know, and correct it everywhere. Those kind of things, you know, are handy for reprocessing. Here's the KMX author editor that this uses, and here's the content. Now, all of this is being narrated, okay? If I change a word, you know, to like, is great software system, in fact, let's just do it. I'll just change it to is a great software system. Next time that plays, the audio is going to say is, we want to, is a great software system. Next time the audio plays, it's going to say is a great software system. And believe it or not, it's available now in every language, okay? That's all you have to do to make a change. You've changed the audio and it's available in every language that either Google AI or Microsoft AI support. You know, everything will be translated automatically into the language of the preferred language of the browser and operating system that the user that attaches to it on. And this works even if you export this to a third-party LMS. So if you build this course in KMX, you export it to Cornerstone or to Absorb or to Docebo or some other LMS out there and play it, guess what? It still has all those same features. The only features you lose on an export is the ability to have the avatar answering the user questions in the dialogue help box at the top if you want to, you know, allow the users to have, you know, in progress support through AI. You lose that because obviously we're not going to pay for, you know, we're not going to pay the tab for, you know, the AI access on a third party, you know, platform. But the courses run just fine. And the options that aren't available just don't show up. Okay, so here's how this works. We can add new slides. We can move this slide. We can delete this slide. We can auto advance it. You know, we can give it a delay. We can fade it, rotate it, la, 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 la. We've got, you know, image editing tools that allow us to come in here and add hotspots to the images. We can crop the image. We can, you know, set, you know, an image shape. We can animate, you know, any image, kind of just like PowerPoint. You know, it's the same kind of functions you would normally see in PowerPoint. If I don't like the image, okay, I can just drop a new image right there. You know, I can, you know, change its display characteristics. Right now it's in line. I could, you know, set, you know, a different kind of border or shadow. I can add alternate text, change the size of the image. I could just drag it and, you know, make it bigger if I wanted. I can delete it. I can link the image to anything, an internal or external source. Maybe I want to link this image to slide 3, or maybe I want to put hotspots on each one of these little buttons up here. I can do all that, you know, simply by, you know, clicking on the image, or I could replace the image. Okay, I can go to upload an image. I can go to an external image that's, you know, available somewhere out there on, you know, the extranet or intranet. or I can browse our library of images. I told you it was creating a library as it went. This is a library that it's created so far for this course on this subject. So these are the images that are available. And if I click on, the plus sign on one of those, it's going to drop it into that spot. You don't lose the image that you're, replacing. It stays in your library, so that you could use it somewhere else. It gives you a lot of tools to make this thing, exactly the way you need it. You don't like the color scheme, you can change the background, you can change the foregrounds, you can change your base fonts, you can change your gradients and templates. A lot of the PowerPoint-like features have a background image, drop a new background image in, apply, changes to every slide, slide 1, 2, and 4, only slide 6, whatever, okay? And the same thing goes with all the interactivities. So what are the 3 basic concepts of ERP? That's an interaction. This was generated by AI. And, it's come up with the basic style sheet colors. If we don't like these, you can change the style sheet, or I can just go right in here and change the color. If I don't like the answer, I don't like the way it's narrated. When I click on it, I change it here. The narration changes with it. I can test it before I save it. If I think this is really cool, now that I've got the colors the way I want, and I want to copy it and use it somewhere else, I can put it up on the clipboard, and I can copy it and put it anywhere else in this or any other presentation. So these are the kind of things that we tried to think through. Its position right now is none. If I want to float it left, put it in the center, float it right, you get the idea. We tried to think of, as many, options. And we can also link the response out. If I put a link in there, okay, it can link to a different slide, and that slide could link to an external URL, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of options. I'm not going to try and teach you all of them today associated with these kind of different interactions. And then this next one is a multiple element interaction. The same kind of thing. It doesn't have a correct answer. We want them to click all the links. We're not scoring it. If they do in this case, if I turn that on, it'll score it that they actually clicked them all, et cetera, et cetera. Lots of options. And the same thing with the multiple choice. And then the end of course one, when you click on it, it uses the score data to say your name, say the score and your time. You can change all that. And if you failed, you failed. You haven't completed, you completed, whatever you wanted to do. And again, you have all the color options if you want to change it, to be something different than your default style sheet. So they're all kind of redundant in their controls, but they all have pretty, neat, unique, functions associated, with all they can do. Now, because this is an AI course, Control-Shift-X brings up the AI options menu. Right now we have the avatar available, chat available, autoplay available. I'm going to go ahead and make all voices available that are in the language that I'm speaking, okay, English in this case. If I want to make it all languages, which can be quite an extensive list, German, French, Portuguese, every language available under the sun, I just changed that one to a 1. But I'm going to leave the voice on, see what other voices are here. Display the avatar is not defaulted on. In other words, when the lesson starts, the avatar is not running. They got to hit a button. Same thing with chat. Same thing with autoplay. And we can disable or enable navigation during autoplay. Some clients want to use these in a virtual classroom, launch it, walk away, go have a cup of coffee, come back, let the AI instructor teach for a while and answer the students' questions. So they turn on the chat, they turn on the avatar, they disable autoplay navigation, and then the whole class stays in sync. Everybody's at the same place. It's like watching a video until they get to the questions, and then they're timed on the questions, and they only have so many seconds to get through all that stuff. And again, when the instructor comes back, everybody's still in sync. And nobody's lagging behind. So that's kind of nice. You can override the avatar URL, and I can change the avatar gender. If I want to make the avatar and voice gender male, I can just do that just by changing it to 1. So we're going to do that. We're going to allow voice and all that stuff. We're going to hit done. That's all there is to it to make those kind of changes. I'll hit Control L, to save that. I can't go over all the options. There's this nice little manual associated with this that you can click on. This is a free tool, by the way, KMX Author. We offer this for free on kmxdirect.com. So you can develop courseware, and you can export it right to your third-party Cornerstone, Absorb, Docebo, whatever LMS. It'll run fine. Everything's been fully tested. We're kind of SCORM experts here because we've been working with the ADL guys since before they were ADL. So anyway, you get the idea on that. Okay, so let's preview our content real quick with the changes that we made.
Enterprise Resource Planning, ERP, is a great software system that integrates various business functions and processes within an organization.
Okay, so you heard him say a great software system this time. Okay, we've got lots of voices to choose from. Google US English, Google US UK English Male, English Female, Microsoft Zira, Microsoft Mark, la 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 la. Let's go ahead and put the avatar on. Oh, it's a male this time. And let's just ask him a question, see what he has to say.
Hi Jack Lee, do you have any questions about Enterprise Resource Planning, ERP, and its benefits?
Yes, do I need to know this information?
Yes. As a student studying business or IT, it is important to have a basic understanding of Enterprise Resource Planning, ERP, and its benefits for organizations.
Okay, so you might worry that people would start asking it, who's going to win the Super Bowl, but we don't talk about that because AJ's from Detroit and I'm from Baltimore. That's just not
a rough weekend
discussion today. And this avatar and the voice are going to try and force you back on topic. Okay, they've been trained to force you back, into the fold, with off the wall questions. So again, lots of options, trying to go through, some of the higher level ones here today. But that was all done in a couple of minutes, with completely by AI, very, very little human, effort involved with that. Okay, so let's go back to our course outline here for a second. Got lots of other topics here that we haven't done yet. We'll do these after we get off the thing today, and we'll make this course, Introduction to Enterprise Resource Planning, available to everybody who attended today, so that they can take it at kmxdirect.com. But I don't want to spend everybody's time, generating, the other 9 topics right now, but I do want to show you the final exam. Okay, and so it came up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. Okay, instead of, and we can edit these. Okay, if we don't like the questions, we can, edit them. We're not going to do that right now. Let's just go ahead and take the exam, see what it looks like. What does ERP stand for? Enterprise Resource Planning. I knew that one. Which of the following is a key feature of ERP systems? Supply chain optimization. What is the purpose of an ERP system? I'm going to get one of these wrong, man. No. Integrate and streamline business processes. Yes. Main advantage of using ERP systems. Increased employee turnover. I doubt that's it. Improve customer satisfaction enhancement. We're going to go reduce operational costs. Which department is in order the not human resources? Let's say I don't know. We'll go with human resources. Okay, I got that one wrong. It's supply chain optimization. I got that one right. And finance is the one that benefits the most. Well, there you go. What'd I get? A 60? Great. Okay, so that was all done by AI. Now, you may say, oh, well, that was an easy topic. Yeah, it's really not. ERP is actually a fairly complex topic. But since I've got screen share on here, let me give you some ideas of other things we've done. Okay, this is the Caterpillar D1 dozer. Okay, and I'm not going to go through all of these, but it's give you an idea of another one. Let's see, this is functions of the Caterpillar D1 dozer.
Caterpillar D1 dozer is a versatile piece of heavy equipment primarily used in construction and earth-moving projects.
Okay, that's nice. You get the idea of what it can do on topics that are completely unrelated. Let's look at another one here real quick. This is botany. Okay. Introduction to botany.
There are several plant species that can be identified to the level required for the performance of basic skills.
Okay, we'll stop that for a second.
Transpiration is the process by which plants lose water through their leaves. Germination is the process by which a plant grows from a seed. Please answer the following question. Correct.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter what the topic is. We would follow the same process. This is an ISO 9000 course, okay, that's used the ISO 9000 task generation model on the International Energy Conservation Code. Just give you another idea of what can be done here. Same process used for all of them. The only difference on this one is we use the ISO 9000 standard knowledge and skill templates, just so that it would follow the ISO prescriptive formula. Let's go ahead and preview that one.
The purpose of the 2021 International Energy Conservation Code, IECC, is to establish minimum energy efficiency requirements for new construction and major renovations of residential and commercial buildings.
Okay, let's go ahead and close that. What I wanted to do is go back to the outline on this one. Just give you an idea of what an exam might look like for one of these. It was a long ISO 9000 introduction course. You know how long it would take a developer to come up with these kind of test items? It'd take a while. And again, having AI do it in a matter of seconds, have it fully indexed, fully editable, fully tied to our learning objects. I just kind of find that remarkable that AI has come this far in such a short period of time. So we got a 50 question exam with that one. So, okay, so let's move on. Everything that we've done today is language and device independent. Okay, any course that you develop using the technology that we've shown you will translate into any language that is supported, by AI, which is basically all of them. And that includes the text and narration, all the navigation controls and the indicators on the screen, and that includes all of your contemporary portable devices, your Samsung Galaxies and your Apple iOS, etc., tablets and what have you. So pretty well thought out in terms of being able to fit on the right screen, landscape or portrait, however you want to display it, and give you all the features you need and translate to whatever language you're speaking, because AI has a great ability to speak in any language, and the language it's just wonderful now. At this point they've come so far. 2 years ago I wouldn't have said that, but over the last even 6 months the technology has evolved dramatically, and I don't really think it's going to slow down one bit. Okay, so a dialogue template. Let's just look at one real quick here. Same editor. Okay, you can put pictures in. You can put text in. You can have it have different labels for stuff. But the key to it is the scenario information form. So what you've got here is you got to tell it what the purpose of your dialogue is. In this case, this one is to interact with a customer to sell a car. The overall topic is a car, and it's a BMW i9. The AI participant, okay, is the customer, Alex Davidson. Okay, the human participant is you. You're the human, okay, when you interfacing with this. In this case, the default will be a person named Bill Smith if no name is provided. Okay, it's got AI avatar images and voices that have been selected, UK English Male and William Online Natural English Australia. Okay, and it's got data associated with the simulation, what data elements are important to the simulation. So if this were leadership training, a data element might be, an issue that the organization's dealing with, or it might be, the size of the organization, the number of people a person is managing, issues that are affecting, performance or personal issues associated with the leader themselves. Any data element you want to give AI, to use during the dialogue exchange, and then you can give it up to 10 either questions or issues. In this case, their questions, because you're asking AI to play the role of a customer at a dealership. And so the questions here, what is the price of a car? But if it was a leadership exercise, it could be, your employee has come to you and told you that, he needs to take, a day off on a day that's critical to the company's, performance. That could be the issue. You could put whatever you want to give AI, and you can, test this, play with it until you get it the way you really like it and tune it in. At the end of the day, AI's going to either do what we call strict or interpretive evaluation. Okay, the strict model basically assumes that the questions or issues listed are fixed, that they're not interpretive. Okay, that this is the hard line of what we're trying to achieve. If we say interpretive, then we're giving AI guidance as to the kinds of things or issues or questions that could be included from the AI participant during the dialogue. Okay, giving it guidance and direction, setting an envelope for the AI exchange. Okay, we're going to show you this one in interpretive mode. And then at the end of the thing, you got to tell it what you want it to do with the data, of the exchange. Well, in this case, we're going to ask it to give us a summary of sales techniques that were or should have been used. We're also going to ask it to score the sales person on a score of F to A. Okay, so again, AI in this case is the the customer, and the human, is the sales person at a dealership. Okay, let's go ahead and just close that window. I'm going to run it up. Hello, Alex. I'm here to help you. What can I help you with today?
Hi, Jack. I'm interested in this car. Can you tell me more about it?
Sure, Alex, I can, but I understand from your daughter that it's your birthday.
Thank you, Jack. Yes, it's my birthday. I'd still like to know more about the car.
Are you the kind of person that likes a really fast sports car? Because this is it. This is a BMW i9. It's a 2019.
Yes, I am interested in a fast sports car. Can you tell me more about the BMW i9?
Well, we have this one in pearl white, and it's just beautiful. It's been well maintained. It's got all the features, including the auto parking and upgraded interior, upgraded electronics package, the turbocharged engine. You're going to just love it.
What is the price of the car?
It's $76,340. It's a real bargain.
Can you tell me more about the mileage on the car?
Yeah, it's only got 36,000 miles on it.
Is dealer financing available?
Yeah, we offer a 60-month term with 6% down, or no, it's 10% down, excuse me, 6% interest at 10% down over a 60-month term.
What other features does the car have?
Let's see, I pretty much named them all, other than the sleek aerodynamic design. Oh, and it also has the Michelin all-season tires.
Can you provide maintenance records for the car?
Absolutely, and we also have the Carfax report right here. I thought you might ask, so I brought them out to show you.
Thank you, Jack. I appreciate the maintenance records and Carfax report.
So, are you ready for a test drive?
Yes, I'm ready for a test drive.
Excellent. Let me go inside, get the keys, and we'll get on the road.
This concludes this dialogue simulation. Your results are as follows. Sales techniques used. 1. Building rapport. The salesperson starts the conversation by acknowledging the customer's birthday, which helps to establish a friendly and personal connection. 2. Highlighting features. The salesperson emphasizes the car's fast sports car capabilities, upgraded interior and electronics packages, turbocharged engine, and automated parking feature to appeal to the customer's interest in a fast sports car.
Okay, so I got a B here.
3.
I'm not going to
Providing pricing information. The salesperson mentions the price.
What we've got is a free-form dialogue going between a human and AI. There's actually 2 AI engines running when this template is running. One of them is doing a constructive evaluation of the analysis so far, trying to keep the dialogue within the envelope and data checking to make sure that the response chain is reasonable within the parameters that we've defined. And the other one is trying to assess what our goals were, okay? Whether we were able to interact with the customer, to sell a car to the customer, to create a summary of the sales techniques that were or should have been used, and give the person a score with an assessment of why the score was what it was. I got a B on that. Obviously, my sales techniques could be improved, and some things I missed. I never covered the top speed, of the car. I made a mistake about that. There's, other things that would have said, might have been useful for me to have gotten, the customer to buy the car based on the parameters given. The parameters can be anything. We've done these on lots of other programs. Instead of spending the rest of the afternoon going through that, let me just go to canvasi.com and show you how you get to those. If you go to learn more here about artificial intelligence, lots of demos down here, including the car one that we just went through, one on the White House tour, qualifying on a submarine, the USS Los Angeles, soft skills simulation for active listening, and then just an open exchange with an AI expert are all available. Some of the benefits that I think you've probably seen here today is you can reduce the time and expense in your learning materials design and development by a significant amount, just to generate the exam items for a complex subject like what we did with the ERP system or with the one I showed you for the International Energy Code. But those would take hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of a SME working with test item developer, somebody that knows the ins and outs of creating good validity index test items to create quality test items like that. You can manage, modify, reuse, and maintain these lessons, the test items, exams, and media as independent elements so that they can be exported, recombined with other things, used in other courses or lessons. They can all be used as elements to support virtual reality. That White House tour that I just talked to you about on the www.canvasi.com page is a virtual reality element that allows you to go through the White House, and it has an AI guided tour coupled with an AI help assistant just in case you have questions about something or get lost. You can include competitive games using our KMX Games engine that leverages the AI generated test items and exams and turns them into TV style game shows like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or The Weakest Ring, games like that. Automatically, and you can use those in a virtual classroom environment or standalone, from the AI generated materials. You can automate the creation of programs that are engaging, effective, entertaining, and quite frankly, very, very cost effective. Was there something you wanted to add there, AJ?
No, sorry, I just bumped my microphone.
Oh, okay. You can include the process and dialogue simulations that I showed you just a minute ago to evaluate skills and get a score. That score can be used to trigger adaptive responses from the system to move you to this lesson or that lesson, or regress you back if necessary because your skills don't measure up at this point to proceed. So those are the kind of things that you can do. You can also do that with click here skills training by putting screens within KMX Author. It'll allow you to copy and paste almost any screen, even HTML screens, into the interface, and then mechanize any control. So if you copy a drop down in, the drop down still operates within KMX Author. It's a full HTML editor. It's the WordPress editor is what it is. And then you can say, okay, if they click 3, what happens? or if they click this button, what happens? And you can move them to another, screen. You could move them to an evaluation, and you can create, a screen simulation or process simulation very easily using that editor. And coupled with AI, you've got now, the ability to do knowledge, skill, soft skills, all within one package that allows you to improve your learner outcomes by having adaptive response chains and inline support of the AI assistant when the student gets lost or has questions or needs support. It'll work in any mode: e-learning, virtual classroom, hybrid. I can push any of those lessons through this same window that you've got the slide up in, and you can interact with it just like you were taking it as an e-learning course. Or I can walk away and let it go on, on auto run with the avatar, and let the avatar teach the class for 10 minutes while I go get a cup of coffee next time. It's fully SCORM conformant, and it's exportable for use by any LMS. Everything that we've talked about, everything that we do, is fully SCORM conformant, and the test items, that are being developed or assembled into SCORM conformant exams, on export. So you can provide this learning content in any AI supported language from a single baseline. So you create one course, AI does the rest. AI does the translation of the audio, AI does the translation of the text, AI does translation of all the navigation controls, all the hotspots, all the alternate text tags. Everything gets translated, by AI when the user accesses it based on what the user workstation preferences. You've eliminated all restrictions on authoring tool licenses because the KMX author tool is free. And you also get rid of that whole learning curve, because now you've got AI guiding you through the ISD process. You're not having to, to do the task analysis, sit down with a subject matter expert for days to try and, come up with a list of what the possible knowledge and skill items that could be used in a task analysis associated with job performance are, because AI is, taking all that workload on, and all you're doing is steering AI at this point, and then looking at the outcome and making sure that the outcome is what you expected. And if you don't like it, you can regenerate it. You can kill it and start over. You can regenerate, any materials that you have, or edit anything that comes out. And the goal here is to be able to measure and report the true effectiveness of training and the return on investment achieved by your programs by tying all this to a level 4 Kirkpatrick analysis.